few minutes. What's going on, Lisa? What's going on, Lisa? Appreciate you joining in. Crazy day today. Crazy day today in the stock market. And I've been gone for a little while. Whew. Back at it today. Had to take a little time off. Had a graduation last week, and now we're getting ready for college. It's just been crazy. But show must go on. And let's see. Appreciate you tuning in. Stock Talk Late Night episode 17. And let's see. Are you investing in Tesla? Is your position complete? I am invested in Tesla. I bought some. I actually bought some today. I only have a couple of shares of Tesla. I don't have a lot. At one point I had about 10 shares, but I sold quite a bit of it. So I'm really just building the position back up as I can. So I don't have a lot of Tesla. I have a couple of shares. I bought some today though, when everything went down. So how about you? What you have? Are you investing in Tesla? And I want to see what's gonna play out tomorrow, and see if I need to add any more, or is it going to start going back up or going back, or continue to fall. I think I started looking after hours and it kind of stabilized a little bit. So we'll see. But we're only one tweet away. For it going up or down in the early morning tomorrow and for the day. So, but yes, I am invested in Tesla. So yeah. Invest in Tesla, and did not pick up any today. I'll see if I can snag it tomorrow before the price goes back up. Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. I was looking at it. I think it broke. Where is it at? Around 300. I was like, okay. I think it was it was at 300, 303, and I was like, man, maybe I should pick up something. I waited a little bit more, and then it went down some more. So say you had 16 shares. Okay, yeah, you have a lot more than what I have for sure. I don't have that much of Tesla right now, but it's something that I do want to build back up in the long haul. I hate that I sold my shares at the time. Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened, why I sold them, because it was actually, I think a year or two ago, I was playing around with cover calls and didn't know how to kind of manage my risk on the cover calls, and and to cover what I had to sell some of my Tesla shares to make up the cost. So I'm a little bit more experienced with the cover calls now, so I wouldn't have to do that. But I got off the Tesla shares, so I'm building a position back up now. So that's why I sold some of my shares. So, but yeah, 16 shares is good. That's really good actually, considering the price. So I'm gonna get back in it pretty soon, and I was up over 100%. I'll be holding till I see those days again. Yeah, man. Tesla, you just never know, man. You get kind of weary about those big price drops and gain. That's kind of what Amazon and Google used to do when they were, thousands of dollars a share. You don't know if it was going to be a big day or a big loss, or depending on how the earnings, it can go up 70, 80, 100 points. You know what I mean? And it's crazy that Tesla's not terribly not that expensive, but it can still have those big days, like those big drops like it did today. So let's take a look. Let me see. Let's see what's going on with Tesla stock right now. And while we're looking at it, jump right in. And you see here, Tesla was down. Tesla is down 47 today, down 3.5%. That's crazy. That's crazy in one day. You see the chart here. And, you know how it just kind of fell apart. See, it's kind of stabilizing the after hours, up 2 points in the after hours. So, you know, depending on what we see tonight in the morning on social media, what comes out of the president's camp, what comes out of Elon's camp, you know, kind of determine, you know, probably how the price will move in the next couple of trading sessions. So, yeah, it's crazy right now. Let's take a look at some of the news here. Stock market data, ISP. Yeah, on Trump, Elon, Musk escalation. Yeah, it was crazy today. Yahoo Finance be all over the place. U.S. stocks fell Thursday as escalating tensions between President Trump and Tesla CEO Elon Musk overshadowed a phone conversation between Trump and China's President Xi, which had lifted investor optimism that a strained U.S.-China relationship could be thawing. The Dow fell nearly 0.3%. S&P 500 was down more than 0.5%, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ slid over 0.8%. Trump spat with Musk burst into the open Thursday after days of Musk-led criticism of his giant tax spending bill working its way through Congress. Trump posted on Truth Social that the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. Ooh, that was a pretty big tweet right there, or, you know, post or whatever. Tesla stock closed down more than 14%, with losses escalating after Trump's apparent threat to most businesses. And yeah, it's just a crazy day today with that, man. And that was tough. I was actually in a call earlier with the SPY, and I thought it, you know, had broke, you know, to the upside, and I got into a call, and sure enough, all that stuff started happening, and, you know, the call, you know, of course, the option went the other way. So luckily, I had a stop loss in, and, you know, it wasn't too bad, and I was able to get out. I wish I had put in a put, but, you know, I left it there. But I did get into another put on another play, and I was able to make up that loss I took on the SPY. So, but man, Trump versus Elon. Elon put out some tweets, you know, talking about the election, about Trump possibly. What else did he say? Epstein files. It was crazy today. That's why, you know, that leadership, man, you know, politics, but, you know, you know when there's good leadership at the top. It's, you know, it's shaky up there, and it's unfortunate that stuff like that affects our pockets. You know what I mean, as far as the market is concerned. So that's why I'm not a big fan of the whole, you know, celebrity type stuff. You know what I mean, at the top where it could possibly affect, you know, our money with the stock market and stuff. So me, I like stability. I like, you know, things like that to be handled behind closed doors and not played out in public and the social media. So yeah, what do you think is next for the stock market? You looking for it to be up or down tomorrow? Let's see. So yeah, I had the same experience today. I always have my stop loss on most of the time, too tight. Yeah, man, you know, I'm trying to get a little bit better with the stop loss, the trailing stop loss. I've missed out on quite a bit of gains by having my stop loss set too tight. Um, I think I've been doing trailing stops of 10%, 15%, and you know, whether it's a put or a call, when it comes to retest, that support or that resistance, it hits that stop loss, man, and then it just goes the way you want it to go. You know what I mean? But you're already out of the play. So I think today I put my trailing stop at like 40%, and when it was up, which it still hit that on 40% on my second play, and that's how I was able to make some pretty good gains. And I ended up getting out. I probably could have held overnight on this particular play, depending on how the market goes. But I just took my profit and got out because I got to do a better job of doing that too, taking my profit and getting out. So it was enough for me to turn positive on the day, so I was good. And my trading account is a very small account, and I'm looking to build it up over time, just with discipline, discipline with stop losses and learning how to take profit and get out. So it's that's a battle every day. It's really a mental battle that can be kind of draining. And luckily, I don't depend on trading for like income like that. You know what I mean? Some people's daily, life, every day depend on the trades they make, and that's tough, man. That's tough. Plus, I'm working from home on days like that, and trying to juggle both, and it can be kind of stressful sometimes. So yeah. So no way I can. So let me explain about that. Why I did the trailing stop today. So that particular 40%, that particular position was on a yield max. That's not how I do my SPY. I'm usually 15, 20%. But what I have to do with the SPY, I have to just let it run for a few minutes and then set my stop loss. But this particular play, where I was able to get a pretty good gain today by kind of letting it run, was on the high yield max play. That's actually paying tomorrow. And what I've seen over the past couple of months is that it declare, high yields, they pay a high dividend, but sometimes it will cost on the share price, right? Your share price will go down when it pays out, or the day before it pays out. So what I did was, the dividend was declared yesterday. It's going to pay out Friday. Usually it's a drop in share price. So today I was like, okay, let me try to put a put on this particular position to see if it's still going to drop in that share price, because I know it's paying tomorrow. And it did. It was actually MSTY, one of my higher paying dividends, but it usually does drop in share price before it pays out. So that's why that was a strategy that I tried today, and it worked, right? So I'll be checking again next month when it declares that dividend on a Wednesday. I'll be looking to see if I can get a put on that Thursday and see if I can get some gains and then get in and get out. So it worked today. Had a really nice profit today, and that's why I did it. That's why I did the trailing stop for that, for that amount, because it did come down, right? So it came down. If I had that a normal stop loss like I did on my SPY, I would have got stopped out. But I let it play out. It went the option contract went up, profit, and it came down by quite a bit, and then boom, it shot back up as the market continued to go down. The option price, the put, went way up. So I'm glad I just let it play out over that time, and it worked out for me in the long run. So that's kind of how that played out. But I probably wouldn't do that on the SPY or anything like that. But I do have to do a better job of kind of letting the SPY run its course as far as how on those option plays. So I'll be looking for another SPY contract tomorrow, whether it's a calls or a put, and we'll see how it goes. So you said you like calls better than puts? Doesn't make a difference. No, I like calls. I'm if I had to pick and choose 1,000, it'd be 1,000% calls. You know what I mean? So yeah. I like this. I like calls because I know my overall long-term portfolio is going to go up. So I'm not a big fan of puts at all. Some people say, "Oh, I like when the market's red. You know, I can go shopping, blase, blase." Yeah, I can go shopping when it's green too. You know what I mean? Because the market's supposed to go up, so I can go shopping. I can dollar cost average when it's green. I can buy calls when it's green. I'm gonna get higher dividend payouts. You know when the market's green. So I like when the market goes up. You know, if I'm paying a little bit extra for a position when I'm dollar cost averaging, I'm okay with that because the market's going to continue to go up. So my portfolio has never went down when the market goes up. So that's for me, that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? So if you continue to dollar cost average or even buy on small pullbacks, man, you still gonna. Your portfolio is gonna look good over time. I'm a testament to that. My long-term portfolio is not going to grow if the market continues to go down. But I do understand that people like to buy more shares, when the market goes down. But that whole 30% drops and all that type of stuff. No, you can have that. You know what I mean? For the little money I'll make on some puts or something like that, and look at my long-term portfolio and see it, crashing down. Nah, I'll take calls any day of the week. So that's my preference. So yep. But let's see. Let's get into the markets today. And let's see here. And we'll look at the Dow. Just go through here. Dow is down today, 108 points over the last week. Actually up, almost break even, but it's up 152 points, 0.36%. Over the last month, up 2%. And year to date, the Dow is actually down 224 points. And we're going to go over to the S&P. S&P down today, 31 points over the last week. Up 57, and we almost back to that 6K, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. So year to date, S&P is up almost, you might as well say 1%, 57 points. So you see the big drop, the big dips, getting down in the 4900s, but we worked our way back up. And we were almost back at that 6K. So, we've been over 6,100. I was hoping to be close to 7K by halfway through the year. But hey, it is what it is. That's just how the game goes sometimes. And the NASDAQ is down on the day 162 over the last week, up 1.44%, 273 points. Year to date, the NASDAQ's pretty much break even, only down 12 points year to date. 19,000. We've been up over. I thought we was at 20,000 at one point. Yeah, we hit 20,000 earlier in the year before we saw the big drop down. We've been as low as 15K, but we're back up to 19K, which is a good thing. So, market's trying to fight its way back, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, NASDAQ man. So still got room to work, but the markets, kind of reacted off of what happened today with the, with the whole Trump versus Elon thing. So it's just a big mess right now. But yeah, that's just a recap of that. And two topics I want to get in before I get off. We're already 20 minutes in. Two topics I want to get in. I made two videos earlier this week, and I just want to go back over, the passive income that we've been experiencing. Looking at these three positions for passive income. If you're looking somewhere to park your money, right? If you're looking somewhere to park your funds, take a look at these three positions. One is SPYI. The other is QQQI, and then JEPQ. So we're going to jump right into those. Just take a look at their performance and their payouts real quick, and just see what's happening with that. So bear with me 1 second. And let's see here. Because I've talked about these, like I said in a recent video. You know, if you get a chance, go and check that out earlier this week. But SPYI, that's the S&P 500 High Income ETF. And we talked about these type of positions holding their share price. So you see over the last 5 days, up 0.49%. Over the last month, up 2.93%. Year to date, down only 3% year to date. So pretty good, kind of in line of what you see with the S&P. But you know, these are monthly paying dividend ETFs. So if you go to historical data here, let's just take a look at how this thing has been paying out. And you see it pretty much holds its share price. And you don't see a big drop in share price. You kind of see it increasing a little bit lately. But look at some of these monthly paying dividends here. 50 cents a share, 46 cents a share, 50 cents a share. So let's just say you wanted to park your money into a position like this. Look at the dividend payouts each month. The dividend payouts each month would be very beneficial for you. If you're looking for a safe place to park your money, you know, I'm not a financial advisor, but look at these payouts for SPYI, right? 50 cents a share, 46 cents a share, 50 cents a share, 51 cents a share, 51 cents. Like, you're not going to find that at your bank, right? If you have a savings account, you're not getting paid that amount each month for money that's sitting in your savings. So what I've been trying to do is find safe places to park extra cash. And my SPYI and my QQQI positions are very small positions now, but they're going to be places where I'm going to look to add to significantly over the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, because, you know, it's proven the test of time with these payouts, right? And the share price is not losing share price like you would normally see on a high, you know, a position that's paying a high dividend like this. So like I said, 46 cents, 50 cents, 51 cents, 51 cents, 51 cents. Like, these are solid payouts each month. And this is going back to June of last year. So over the last 12 months, you're pretty much getting 50 cents a share on your position, right? So if you had thousands of dollars to put into SPYI, man, you're going to see that pay off, you know, over time, more than what you would see in your normal bank account. So, you know, I wanted to touch on this. You know, I talked about it in a recent video, but, you know, safe places to park your money and earn passive income. Safe places to park your money, earn passive income. SPYI, right? QQQI. And I'm just like, I'm kind of upset with myself by not knowing about some of these things earlier, but the more you kind of stay in tune, you know, you'll figure these things out. And we see SPYI this is QQQI, I'm sorry, year to date, only down 3% on the share price. Over the last week, up a little bit. Over the last month, up 4.55%. And once again, historical data, we'll go here. You know, we know that it's pretty much holding this share price. You can see it for yourself. You don't see a big drop in share price. You know, we see that. And then we'll just go to historical dividends and look at this. In May, we got 63 cents a share. April 53, 58, 61 cents, 62, 62, 61 cents a share. This is monthly income, right? Getting a dividend every month from these positions. High, you know, this is high, right? 61 cents a share, 60 cents a share, 64 cents a share. Like I said, you know, we have a mindset of just parking your money in these savings accounts because we want to just take see our money there. But man, we got to just start putting our money to use a little bit better. And a year or two ago when we talked about monthly paying dividend ETFs, it was like, I don't know about that. Kind of sounds too good to be true, right? Because we used to dividends paying every quarter or semi-annually, but now the game is changing, and we got to be able to adjust with what's going on in the market right now. And some of these monthly paying ETFs are extremely beneficial, right? Everything is not so high risk like you would think every month. So and I'm gonna get to my last one here because I just received the highest dividend payout that I ever received with this position. Now I've been reinvesting dividends and with JEPQ, and it just keeps building up every month. But I received almost, I think, $100. I think it was $97 in May for my payout. No, in June, a couple of days ago, actually, 2 days ago. Oh, was it yesterday? No, it was yesterday. We received our JEPQ payout. Year to date, we're down a little bit, 8% on JEPQ, because once again, we had the pullbacks in the market. We know that, how that's going to go. Over the last month, we up 1%. Last 5 days down. So we know what's going on with the price. But my JEPQ positions, like overall, are up significantly in my portfolio because I've held it for quite some time. I'm not, I just didn't start investing in JEPQ. I've had it for quite some time. Once again, another monthly paying ETF. And you see the payouts here. Like I said, June, my highest payout ever. You see why? 62 cents a share. I have quite a few shares of JEPQ. May we had 59 cents, April 54 cents, 48 cents, 45, 45, 50, 49. So you see right here what's been going on with JEPQ. It's been performing really well each month with this dividend payout. And I think that JEPQ, man, it's just a hidden gem. It's a hidden gem. And you have JEPI and you have JEPQ. I used to have JEPI, but I settled on JEPQ. So I don't have JEPI right now. But man, and we just have to be more, like I said, in tune with what's going on. Some of these monthly paying ETFs can be very beneficial for you. So I received that JEPQ payout yesterday. This time I reinvested everything, and I'm hoping that that continues to go up next month as well. So what you say, Lisa? I want to see a short of this highest paying dividends. Yeah, there's dividends that's paid crazy, but you just have to be mindful of the share price. But I think with the high yield ones, you just have to be, if you get in at a good price, like I don't think like my AMZY, which is a high yield max that pays from Amazon. It's one of my best performing positions in a particular portfolio because I bought at such a low price. I think I got in at $11. I think it's trading at like $15, $16 right now. And I get paid every single month. My GOOY, which is the high yield max that follows Google, I should be getting paid next week. But I got in at a good price, and I'm up a little bit on the price, or kind of break even, because Google did fall over the last 6 months. But up until that time, I was way up on the share price. So I think a lot of it is about when you get into the particular position. So, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful with those. And let me see. If you want to see a really high-paying dividend, I'm going to show you. I don't talk about this one that much, but I just got into it this past month. But I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind, right? And I'm not telling you to invest in these positions, so don't, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's just something that I keep my eye on. And I always stick with building a portfolio around solid ETFs, VOO, VTI, things like that. But you want to see a crazy payout? This is PLTY. This is the high yield max that follows the Palantir. Take a look at this right here. And I know because I'm in this position. I just got into it. I want to show you something here. It pulls up. And we'll go to dividends only. This dividend that just paid out from PLTY this past month was $7 a share. So mind you, I'm just bragging on SPYI and QQQI because we see 50 cent and 60 cent a share. Well, if you want to get real crazy with it, right? $7 a share for this dividend that paid out this last month. That's crazy, right? $7 last month, $4, $5 a share, $5 a share, almost $6 a share. You know, but you got to know what you're getting into with things like that. So, but yeah, I don't recommend. Like I said, when I'm building a portfolio, it's going to be 75 to 80% ETFs and companies that, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Google, stuff like that. But I may use that 10% to take a chance on a high yield play. Do you have a stop loss on your shares or something like that? So I don't usually do stop losses on my long-term portfolios. Like I don't really do like swings like that. If I see something that doesn't make sense in the portfolio, I'll get out of it. I'll sell out of it. There's no problem for me to sell. I'm not going to be stubborn or anything like that. I don't have a problem saying, nah, it's not working for me right now. Let me pivot to something else. You know what I mean? So I don't do stop losses I look at my portfolio every day, like every single one of the portfolios I'm looking at every day, and if it doesn't look right at the time, or if it doesn't make sense, then I'll get out of it. I don't have a problem doing that. That's why I don't like it to be, that's why I don't like it to have a major allocation in my portfolio. So if it does go the wrong way, it's not going to like drown my portfolio or anything like that. So yeah. So no, I don't. Let's see. So yeah, no diamond handing, not for me. Not for me. So crypto, man, what you think about crypto? So I don't really do stop losses on crypto either. Like now, what crypto am I holding? I'm in it for the long haul on crypto. So what I have, Bitcoin, some Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, which I show on my Robinhood portfolio. And then what else do I have? I have some ADA. What is ADA, right? What is it? I can't think of what ADA is right now. I have some Solana. I have some XRP. I think those are my main. I have a little SHIB, right? If I was going to do any stop loss, it'd be on like a Doge or a SHIB. But the other ones, I will hold long term. But I don't like to go back and forth with the crypto. I like to buy, and then if I'm gonna hold it, I'm gonna hold it. Like with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, and then just add when I can add. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on that. So I don't really do any diamond handling with crypto. I buy it, whether it's every week or every 2 weeks or something like that. I haven't been buying as much crypto lately, but I'm still buying the Bitcoin. I still buy every week on XRP. I buy every week with Solana. I think those are the main three that I'm really, really getting into. I may do $1 or $2 into SHIB, which will get you probably about 50 or 60,000 shares or something like that. I may do that every week and just, build it up from there. Man, I was expecting a little bit more from crypto by around this time with this. I guess mainly I'm speaking about XRP. I don't know how I feel about XRP right now. I was hoping that it will be in a better position than what it is. And I don't really follow the day-to-day grind with XRP. Where we at $2 and let me see something. Let me see. Let me share this. Yeah, I don't follow the day-to-day grind with XRP. Let me see. But I do buy XRP every week. And you see it's at what $2.10 right now. Over the last week down 3%. Year to date with XRP is kind of even. Over the last year, it is up 301%. And I did get into XRP around this 50 cent mark. I think that's like my average, or maybe my average is probably going up each week because I am buying every week. But I was in XRP around this time last year when it was. I think that's kind of when I started buying, when it was in the 50 cent range, because of all the talk about the lawsuits being dropped and things like that. And it was going to go crazy once, everything got settled and the new administration, blase. And, I've seen it go up over $3 at one point for a short period of time and drop back down. And it's kind of settled into this $2 range. And, but I'm still buying every week. I'm buying XRP every week. So, yeah, Lisa, what are you buying with your crypto? What are some of your major positions right now with crypto? And anybody else, right? What crypto are you buying? Any particular crypto that we should be on the lookout for that people don't talk about that much? I'm kind of sticking to the big guns right now with the Bitcoin and Solana and XRP and what are we talking about? ADA. I don't know why I can't think of ADA right now. Why am I not thinking of ADA? I don't know. We'll think of that. But yeah. That was difficult. XRP. Yeah. So yeah, XRP is where I've been adding in 2025 as well as SBTC. Okay. Yep, that's what's up. Yeah. I'm a believer in crypto long term. I don't think it's a fly by night thing. I wish I was in it earlier, but I'm gonna keep adding Cardano. That's what I'm thinking about. Cardano, Ada. Yeah. I'm still buying that as well. Yeah, Cardano. That was a big talk for a while. So I was in some Cardano and price wasn't going how I thought it was going to go, but I didn't sell. I'm still in, I still have a little bit of it. I'm not buying it currently, but I may start adding pretty soon. So, but yeah, the main crypto I'm adding right now is XRP, Solana, and then Bitcoin, and I'll probably start picking up my Ethereum too pretty soon. So, yeah. So, yeah, man, that's the main thing here. I did do a video on my May dividends, but I'm gonna do a little recap here, just to kind of show you, because today I was able to pick up some covered calls on Amazon and Google today. No, yeah, Amazon and Google. So those are my first cover call that I done in June. So let's kind of see. Just want to show you where my income stands right now with the dividend income for the month and cover call income. Just to see where we stand here, because I like a little passive income, right? I like making money for the least amount of work. So let's see where we stand here on that before we get out of here. So today, and I'm gonna scroll over here, we did a Google cover call where we basically rolled over a cover call and we received $88 on our Google cover call. And so far for the year, we're at $507 off for that we've made off our Google cover calls. Not bad. And then I did an Amazon cover call today where we received $114 in premium. That was the first cover call I've done so far in June. And overall for the year from Amazon, we've made $968 in cover call income for the year. So if I go over here where I keep a running total, so far this year in dividend income, we've received $3,877.13, which is going to go up significantly tomorrow because we're expecting some big income from MSTY. We're expecting AMZY income tomorrow. So this should go over $4,000 for dividend income tomorrow. Cover call income, we have received so far $2,479 in cover call income in 2025, and that brings the grand total of total income to $6,356.13 of income so far in 2025. Not bad at all, right? We're in halfway through, so we can get to $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 by the end of the year just in dividend income and cover call income. I think that's a pretty good side hustle for not that much work, right? So sliding over here to the dividend income for May. If you checked out my video, you saw we made $944.22 in dividend income for the month of May. So far in June, we're at $103.93. And that came from $97.18 of JetQ and $6.75 of Divo. They kind of post at the end of the month, but I put it at the beginning of the month. So like I said, tomorrow we'll get our weekly paying ETFs, and we'll get MSTY, which we received $304 last month. It's not going to be that much this month. I'm expecting about $200 something tomorrow from MSTY. If you look at AMZY, last month we had our highest paying month of $180. I'm expecting about $140 something tomorrow. And then we're going to have our weekly paying dividend ETFs as well. They hit every Friday. So tomorrow's payday, not just from the job, but also from dividend income. So we was able to pick up some cover call income, like I said, today. So it's going to be a good day tomorrow. So hopefully the markets are not crazy. We'll look at trying to get in a couple of option plays if possible tomorrow. I always look at Thursday and Friday to try to get into some option plays. We'll have our dividend income that's going to hit, like I just said. If we have any chances to roll out some cover calls, I probably won't, because I just did some today with Google and Amazon. Apple, I'm in a cover call, but it's out to October because that's just kind of a defensive move we had to do when Apple ran up a couple of weeks ago. So probably won't do any cover calls on Apple for a little while. So we're actually up pretty good on this cover call as far as the price. We're not down like we were when I did it. So just had to roll it out for a while. That's basically what I did. So right now we'll be looking to collect on Google and Amazon for the upcoming future with our cover call income. So, but yeah, man, that's about it, man. As far as the personal stuff, like I said, man, today was a crazy day, or a crazy day with with Elon and the president, and we're just gonna see how it's gonna play out over the next few days, and hopefully it doesn't get too crazy. But those tweaks today, and I just like I said, I think it sucks that our portfolios depend on, or can be affected by whether a tweet comes out, or whether a tweet, or anything that's unrelated to what's really going on. But Tesla took a hit. We'll look at Tesla tomorrow. We added to Tesla today. Nothing crazy. I think I put in like $30 in Tesla. Um, so nothing crazy. We'll see how it moves tomorrow. If it's going to do any type of if it continues to fall, if it kind of stabilized. It looked like it stabilized overnight. So in the after hours. So we'll see, how that plays out tomorrow. So nothing else that I'm looking, um, you know, ready to buy unless we have some sharp pullbacks. If Amazon pulls back or Google pulls back, I'll look to add something there. But we'll reinvest the majority of our dividends tomorrow. MSTY usually add 2 or 3 shares and then use the rest of the money to buy other positions, more solid positions in the portfolio. So I may look. So with those the MSTY dividends, I may look to add to my SPY position, which I hold long term. I may look to add to my BRKB Berkshire, and I may look to add to some other positions. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Nothing crazy. We'll see what happens. And but that's pretty much it, man. I think we're gonna shut it down for the night. Good night, Lisa. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, we're gonna shut this thing down. And we'll be back with another episode, hopefully next week. And until then, I will talk to you guys later.